Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Welcome to ABS Africa Broadcasting Service, as usual, coming to you from the great state of Texas. Thank you for tuning in. It's a great pleasure to be here. I am always excited bringing you updates on the Amazonian struggle for self-actualization. Today happened to be I will be starting this program in a sad mood. Not a very good day in Bamenda today, ladies and gentlemen. A terrible accident took place early this morning between 7 and 8 a.m. this morning in Bamenda. A truck coming down Upstation Bamenda through they call it the new road or new Upstation road, crashed, lost brakes and crashed into passers-by. And as of this moment, we are learning of at least 4 people dead and about 6 hospitalized. If there are only 4 people dead, we should actually be thankful to God for that, because when you look at the images, they are gross. The images are gross, but I'm going to get there. Once more, thank you for joining the broadcast. If you are joining by way of social media, please go ahead and you hit your share button so that we can get as many people populated here as possible. Hit that share button. I like to see the numbers jumping. Ladies and gentlemen. So tonight we'll be talking about what is going on in Bamenda, the ghastly accident in Bamenda this morning, and we'll be talking about, of course, the lockdown that is coming up. And Regina Mundi, should she live or die? And is the Republic du Cameroon actually offering 40 million francs for her head to save her? Is that really true? When I get into that, and I will tell you what is true. So please, yes, I see the numbers are jumping right now. Please quickly hit that share button and let me bring you these news items, and then we move to our commentary. I'm going to be having a powerful panel here as usual, but I'd like you to take a few minutes. Please hit your share button as quickly as you join, so that I can come in with this broadcast proper. Go ahead and hit your share button. Let me see those of you who are joining. Let me see what is going on in your mind. Henry Papulo, until we reach Boya, we will never ever leave our journey halfway, all until we reach Boya. Okay, that is all our ambition here, sir. Mandy Bo, you look good, sir. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. And then I also see Otello General. Where has Otello General been? After a long time, I see you here. Good to see you again. Joe Fong watching. Martin Joe, I see you. Formoso Augustine Brown, good evening. Ben Junior Che watching. Bertrand Ayok watching, and he's always here watching from the UAE. Joe Fong, I mentioned you. Thanks for always being there. For Amber, wonderful. Thank you. Please, I'd like to see again the numbers jumping, so that I can come to you with a proper presentation. I also see looking good, Sector Chris. Oh, thank you. Of course, I have to look good. God is always choosing handsome people to be on television. You know that, right? Okay. Beckham Dairy. This is Sweden, I believe. Yes, Beckham, Sweden. Mercy Freedom, I see you. Nodin Kill, says Superman. I'm not a Superman, but thank you for that anyways. Ben Junior Che, thank you for joining. Ping Ann, I'm watching too, she says. Franca Mulu, watching. All right, I know her. Itube, Ekanjume, thank you, Mr. Anu, the greatest voice in the revolution. Okay, that is your opinion, right? But thanks for that compliment. All right. Belmondo Nips, he says, I am a traitor. Somebody says, I am the greatest voice. He says, I am a traitor. All right. I will leave the majority to the side. Awu Clovis, Anchorman, remain steadfast. Sako, Bitcoin is crime. We'll love you from ground zero. Thank you. It's good to hear that. Moses Tanya, watching. Clinton who? Clinton Atai Aji. Ambazunia must be free. La Pista Savon, watching from Cairo. Okay. Ben Junior Che, say match fire, comrade. Absolutely. And I want you guys to match fire, hitting the share button out there. Please. Dora, good to hear from you today. Our anchor man, she says. Martin Neighbor, you've been missing here for a while, Martin Neighbor. Say, we love you, Secretary, for being our hero. Okay, again, that is you. Some says he is a traitor, he is a blackleg, he is a coup plotter. I take everything. Because for as much as I can be sugar to some of you, to some others, I am bitter leaf. Right? So please, I'm doing this joke, so those of you joining can hit the share button, please. All right, I see also Alex Asa watching. Sue Nelson, Chris, the best. Love you, bro. Thank you, sir. Jessica Aqua is watching. I see more. Thank you, Chris. You are great. Okay, thank you, sir. Jessica, greetings, Secretary Chris. Thank you, ma'am. Taya, somebody where you watching from my 16. Secretary Chris, we want to see the firepower back in my 16 and Munya. All right, wonderful. Good to hear that from ground zero. Rita G. Hello, our able secretary. God bless you. Clinton Atanji, Dr. Secretary Chris. Holland Strong. I said no, Holland Strong. These mad dogs from La Republic must hear from us. Again, for Holland Strong, there is no option, right? I don't think you are doing a good job hitting that share button, ladies and gentlemen. I like to see that share button being heated. And of course, we got to Holland really strong. La Republic du Cameroon and their agents, including their enablers, I can see their frustrations out there. I see all their social media concoctions. I see all their social media posts, and I see everything. And some of these ladies, you thought they were very responsible ladies. I see some of the things they write, and I just smile. Some people have said, Secretary Chris, you go out there, respond to them. And I said, I don't give them a second to dignify their stupidity. Yes, you don't give them a second to dignify their stupidity. They can write and put everything that they can out there in the social media. Ladies and gentlemen, it is what you do and say that matters, not what people say about you. And you should never allow people to define you. For as much as you stand on the truth, you do the right thing, your conscience is free. Never allow anybody to define you. And that is what I do. I don't allow any enemies of our independence struggle to define what I do here, what I bring to you every day. Never. That will never happen. They will get tired and give up. I am not giving up. I asked them for a caterpillar. They did not bring it. I am still here. All right, hit your share button. Okay, let me see. A.B. Nixon, our best man. Love to see you again. Thank you, sir. Hannah Vine, share. Yes, Anna, you are right. You are right. Get everybody sharing. Sue Nelson Chair. Good talk, sir. Absolutely. And for your information, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be having a live broadcast here early in the morning in the USA, 8 a.m. Texas time, 9 a.m. Washington time, and ground zero time will be 3 p.m. 3 p.m. We're going to be broadcasting Honorable Weber's Stuttgart, I don't know whether to call it a conference or gathering or whatever it is. ABS will be broadcasting it live, 8 a.m. Texas time, 9 a.m. Washington time, 3 p.m. ground zero time. Again, we are broadcasting Honorable Weber's Germany's conference at early in the morning in the U.S., 3 p.m. ground zero time. You want to tune in, you will hear him. Mbo Lexus, is it Lexus? Look, yeah, Lexus. The anchor man is live, looking sharp. I always like to look sharp, okay? I always like to look sharp, so you can believe that every time you see me here, I be looking even sharper. Princess Pamela, for me, I'm always here. Malam Musa, this is the number one activist out there now, ladies and gentlemen. Malam Musa, all those audios you hear about the revolutionary greetings, that is Malam Musa Alaji. So the revolutionary greetings, comrade. That is Malam Musa. Hey, Musa, good to see you, sir. And there is David Nkangim watching. I see Don and comment live, he says. Sunelson Che, thank you for that information, sir. All right, Patricia, awesome, thanks for that. I guess they're referring to the Weber broadcast tomorrow. Gabi Samba, the great man of our time. God bless you, sir. Come on, and the great man of your time? You are just flattering me, right? All right, but thanks for that. I know you mean it. Nicholas, Alia, Chris, the heavyweight champion. Okay. Scholastica Fang, I see you with your love flower. Sarah White, thanks, sir. Clinton Ataji, Dr. Chris. Now we did here. No shaking, sir. All right, absolutely. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, hit that share button as you join the broadcast. Again, I come to you today. I begin this broadcast today in a very, very sad mood. As you find on your screen, ladies and gentlemen, something went really, really wrong in Bamenda today. I like to play the videos so that you can all take a look. I will just remain quiet, silent, so you can listen to what spectators who witnessed the incident are saying. So please, you take a look at what happened in Bamenda today. It is sad. Take a look.
Come on, don't you? Come on, don't you? Come on, don't you? Come on, on, don't you?
No senator, but I come here. No say different day. Update.
Come on, don't you?
No senator, but I come here. No say different day. Update.
Come on, don't you?
No senator, but I come here. No say different day. Update.
Come on, don't you?
No senator, but I come here. No say different day. Update.
Come on, don't you?
No senator, but I come here. No say different day. Update.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the images you are looking at there are coming from Bamenda. A ghastly accident this morning. We learned between the hours of 7 and 8 a.m. A truck leaving Upstation Bamenda, the truck which you find there on the screen, leaving Upstation Bamenda, crashed, lost brakes failure, and it crashed into a bike rider who was carrying, I think they said, either one or a school child. And the images of the bike rider, they don't look good. We don't know. We learned that the child was taken to the hospital. We don't know whether the child survived or not, but the head of the bike rider was actually chopped off. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a bad scene to see. You can see the remains of the bike lying right there. What you see there, the remains of the bike from that scene in Bamenda. And you can also see in this image, I will not show this for up to a minute, but you can see how bad those images emerging from Bamenda, they look like. That is a truck you can see there. And again, we have learned that at least, ladies and gentlemen, four people were killed in that ghastly accident taking place, they said, around about Regina Mundi residents leaving Upstation Bamenda through the new road linking Inquen to downtown. This truck that you find on the screen lost the brakes and rammed into passers-by, and again, about at least four people were killed. We also learned that at least six people were injured. The driver of the truck died on the way to the hospital. This is something that is still developing. We will still try to dig a little bit more information as to the number of the deaths, but this is again coming from Bamenda this morning. The accident occurred, they said, within the hours of 7 and 8 a.m. while children were on their way to school. The children were on their way to school, and some of those dead are actually school children. Again, we send our condolences to the victims of this ghastly vehicle accident in Bamenda. May God continue to protect and keep all of you on ground zero, because we know that country is not safe. That country is not safe. So I take you to other subjects of the day, ladies and gentlemen, and I will move first. I will move first to Oku. Oku, ladies and gentlemen. And I like to remind whosoever cares about the situation in the southern Cameroons that the 40 Oku boys picked up, Okada riders picked up, as of today, their whereabouts still remains unknown. Their whereabouts still remains unknown. The Cameroon government refuses to say a thing concerning their whereabouts and their abduction. You can see their faces right there, ladies and gentlemen. 40 of these young men, Okada riders as they call them, were picked up a little over two weeks ago by Cameroon soldiers. These 40 young men, Okada riders, were returning from a funeral of one of theirs. And they were not carrying guns. They were not amber fighters or restoration fighters. They were just business guys returning from burying one of their own. And they were picked up. They were picked up close to 3 weeks ago, and up to today, nobody knows where they are. And Cameroon soldiers with their government authorities who pick them up will not say a thing as per today, as per their whereabouts. We are calling on every human rights organization out there, to investigate the whereabouts of these 40 Oku bike riders or Okada riders. I want to believe that Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, they will not only be zealous putting out reports on what the restoration forces in Amazonia do, but when people are abducted in this manner by French Cameroon forces, Human Rights Watch and Amnesty International will actually investigate and get to know where they are so that the family members of these victims can be informed, notified. That is what international law says. You cannot pick people, especially in this number, and put them incommunicado, and nobody knows their whereabouts, not even their families. So, Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, and above all, you authorities in La République du Cameroon, you want us to believe you respect human rights. The families of these 40 Oku boys want to know where they are, visit them, and give them food. If you are keeping them and saying nothing about them, we want to believe you have killed them. Because if for 3 weeks, nobody has heard from them, nobody has seen them, what do you want people to believe? That you have killed them. That the authorities, French Cameroon government, has killed these 40, ladies and gentlemen, 40 innocent citizens who went nowhere. They were not combatants. They just went out there to bury one of their own, and they were killed along the way. Again, I will stay on this story until authorities in La République du Cameroon, Dion Ngute should not only know how to, ladies and gentlemen, intervene when it comes to shootings in Indian County. Dion Ngute should be fighting also for everybody in Amazonia if they claim that Amazonians are their citizens. You don't pick up 40 people, lock them up, and their parents and their families cannot even tell where they are. We want to know their whereabouts. And again, I'm challenging every embassy in Yaoundé, American embassy, Canadian embassy that is footing the bills for so-called mediation, negotiation, British embassy that is doing business with La République du Cameroon in spite of these human rights abuses. We want you to investigate the whereabouts of these 40 innocent people picked up returning from a funeral in Oku. It is very critical. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, please go ahead, hit your share button as you join. Hit your share button as you join. Now let me take you, ladies and gentlemen, to the lockdown. The lockdown that is coming up on Monday. Lockdown coming up on Monday. This has been a subject of debate here. Not really debate amongst us here at the interim government. A debate. I should not even call it debate. I should call it a subject of confusion. A subject of confusion. Confusion coming from those who pretend to be fighting for a free Ambazonia. But when people who are also fighting for a free Ambazonia declare a national lockdown such as this, they go out and they put out audio messages trying to condemn what this interim government is trying to achieve with this lockdown. Now, this is very, very critical. You have all heard messages coming from Samuel Ekomesako and his so-called communication secretary, Juan Martin Mongwa, who is trying so hard to get his voice recognized out there. I want to play an audio that Martin Mongwa, ladies and gentlemen, put out, and I will bring my panel in to chip in something on this. This message coming from Martin Mongwa. I like all of you to listen to that message before I do my commentary on that message. It is very interesting to know what people in Sako's camp are now saying when it comes to lockdown. When it comes to lockdown, ladies and gentlemen, lockdown that they propagated themselves a few years ago.
This is Doctor.
All right. I'd like you all to listen to this audio message again from Mongwa Martin. Mongwa Martin, who is usurping the communication secretary position in this interim government. Listen to him. And again, my panel, please get ready, because I'm bringing you in to chip in on what is coming from this Sako's Bitcoiners. Listen to this audio, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello. Good day, Ambazonians. This is Dr. Martin Mungwe coming back to you on the 20th May lockdown in Ambazonia. And this I'm directing to the population as well to the ARFs. And we have to make this very clear. We all know that the interim government, under the leadership of Dr. Sako, talks to the Ambazonian people through.
All right. This is his message. Martin Mungwa says the interim government, under the leadership of Dr. Sako. Now, I need you, if you are on ground zero, to take note. We are not fighting and having over 30,000 people dying to build another Larapoplic regime where Paul Biya sits there till eternity, and he is now trying to pass it over to his son. That is not what Ambazonians are fighting and dying for. We will never build a regime of that nature. No, not again, not again. But I say this to say this, that when Sako is impeached and removed and somebody is out there calling him president, ground zero, you listen to the sound of my voice, Sako is not your president, it's not your leader, it's your former president, it's your former leader. And so that is why I call this usurpation of authority and power. Listen to it.
Through ABC television. This has been well established. This means anything where we want to talk for one, we on public television, and that public television are ABC. Where any other
say they get their own television, and that their own television, public television, now ABC. Fellow Ambazonians, it's only a matter of when ABC is shut down. For those of you on Ground Zero, we've heard your cries, we've heard your appeals of the disservice that they are using that channel that are sweated for and created and built up to do against this struggle. So let me assure you guys that ABC is it's only a matter of time that thing is going to shut down. I can promise you guys. I can promise you guys. But let me say this. For the time that it remains on air, all of you who watch it should not take anything coming from there with a pinch of the salt. Nothing. For a leader, somebody who claims to be a leader but fails simple accountability tests, you call him a leader? He calls himself a leader? We created this interim government, ladies and gentlemen, in a way that nobody was going to become king or emperor. But what Sako has done in the past few days, in the past few months, he has just created a kingship in this interim government by refusing to ignore the institutions that are supposed to carry out the checks and balances in the interim government. He thrown them to the gutter. That is why we created the Restoration Council. We created the National Treasury. We created the Judiciary Council. We created the Ethics Committee. But this is what has been going on within the years. Slowly but surely, Sako began to pick the highest bidders, the highest donors, private donors, put them over these positions. The Ethics Committee, the Judiciary Committee. Where you failed has been the Restoration Council. But he was trying to do so already. Do not forget, Sako had asked everybody to lead the Restoration Council. In the place of those there, he was then going to send in his own people from the LGAs. When that failed to happen, when they refused to move, he said he has dissolved the Restoration Council, ladies and gentlemen. And then he went, created something he called, is it Jua? Or Jua House of what? Come on, that's a desecration to the name of Jua. So that is what he was trying to do. He lorded over the Judiciary Council with John Frunso, ladies and gentlemen, and Barrister Mbesa. And they told him that the ones who said to him, you can cease over the Restoration Council. Then he lorded over the Ethics Committee with his Bitcoiners. And he was doing the same with the Restoration Council. The Restoration Council reminded him, your tenure is over. For you to stay, you got to go through an election. Sako said, over my dead body, I was meant to be here to Boya, he said. In the place of an election, I prefer to fire the Restoration Council, dissolve the Restoration Council. I mean, something he had absolutely no powers to do. But then the people's representatives came in and said, okay, if you think you are so popular and yet you will not stand for elections, we are going to impeach you. Many other things came in between. Corruption. He will not go for an audit. He is asking you for your money and will not sit in for an audit, ladies and gentlemen. Please hit your share button. I need to see those numbers jumping. I know it's a weekend. But listen, he refused to go for an audit. I learned that Sako is calling for a draft. a draft. Only foolish people will go out and give him a dime if he cannot sit within the audit board and tell them what happened to all the lava storm, what happened to all the draft, what is going on in FACO. Why is FACO dead and silent, doing nothing? What happened to all the money voted to take care of FACO? Does SACO think that other counties will fight and his own county will remain there? They will claim money, they will take bribe and allow life to go there normally in times of war? Ladies and gentlemen, if you give SACO a dime, in spite of FACO being dead, in spite of him not willing to go out and sit in an audit for all the money you gave him in the past, then you don't know what you are doing. You don't know what you are doing. If SACO thinks, ladies and gentlemen, ye can escape the hammer of the Restoration Council, you should tell him, by withholding every dime from him, let him know he cannot escape your own hammer, your money. We're not building crook leaders. We're not building crook leaders. Well, let me continue with this audio here from the Bitcoiner, Martin Mungwa. Listen.
Especially Chris Ano, where you can't tell una, say EP Communication Secretary for the interim government. The first thing we have to ask ourselves, now which interim government way it mean? This one a situation where I believe say we don't resolve a long time ago. Chris Ano, he never represent any interim government where he represent the aspirations of the Amazonian people. We can forget this one very clear. We don't get enough information for proof. Say Chris Ano and the ADF, they will all work for gateway back to
fellow Amazonians. I mean, these people cannot even tell some convincing lies. They can't even tell a little convincing lie. So Chris Ano now, after going after the ADF year after year, is now the one in bed with the ADF. Who amongst you out there will even believe that? I mean, this sounds like one of those audios a year out there saying Chris Ano was the one who sold Sisiko. Chris Ano is having some link, some connection with one Colonel Bankoe in La République du Cameroon. Let me ask you, for those of you who are intelligent out there, ladies and gentlemen, these guys sat there. Huh? How long has it? How long since Sisiko was picked up? If it was Chris Ano who sold Sisiko, where were they for all these years? They only realized today that Chris Ano sold Sisiko, right? Come on. Again, when you are fabricating this thing, try to understand you are sending out those audio to intelligent people out there. Chris, I know he's talking to some La République du Cameroon, Bankoe, what is the other name? So, ladies and gentlemen, you really think that if you are talking to somebody who's supposed to be using you to gather information, that person will then go out and sell you and betray you? Does that even make sense? So please, when you see these things out there, just laugh and drop them. But I don't have time to come here, sit here, take 1 hour and defend myself for non-entities. So these guys say Chris Ano and the ADF, what? Can you even believe that? But listen to the rest of it.
La Republic. And the reason why they want frustrate one, they want to make sure when I really hate the two way they talk, to a point where when I say self, when I be against the interim government way under President Sako.
All right. So Martin Mungwa says what we are trying to do, what Chris Ano and his interim government they are trying to do is trying to get ground zero to really hate what Samuel Ekomesako is doing. They're trying to get ground zero to hate the struggle, hate the revolution. Come on. Because of a 5 days lockdown, they want you to believe that Chris wants you to turn away from the struggle, turn away from the revolution. And somewhere Sako is fighting so hard to keep. Somewhere Sako is fighting too hard, yet in his own backyard, nothing. Martin Mungwa, what is happening to Fako, sir? That is Sako's own backyard. If I were a leader and coming from Fako, I would be very ashamed. I will not even come on television, open my mouth to say anything, because nothing is happening there. I am really seated here proud because I am coming from LBLM, proud of it, because they are fighting. You see it, you know it. If you say Sako is your leader, show us where Sako is actually fighting in his own backyard in Victoria, cannot even wage a single fight. And you want Ambazonian to believe Sako is the leader? Yeah, he's a Bitcoin leader. All right, let's listen to this.
He did fight for make sure we get the independence.
He did fight. Sako did fight. Somebody get independence. You hear that? Sako did fight. Sako did fight. Make connections. Sako did fight. Make connections. Ladies and gentlemen, we brought him a deal from CDC. Here, those who are cutting those audios, cut this one. I was there. They spoke to me. They called me. And I passed the message to Sako, and before I knew it, it became a private deal. When the whole idea was, if this money came into the hands of the interim government, our boys will not be lacking a single armor, ladies and gentlemen, on the ground. But before we knew it, I learned it had become a private deal for somewhere come Sako. It's unfortunate that this is the guy they are trying to sell to you. All that he has been doing in this struggle is business, making money. Even when the interim government pays for his home, he is the only one that this interim government takes care of. Nobody else. Nobody. All right?
Understand this logic very well. Why Chris Arnold did decide for punishment? Why did decide someone to stay for house for 5 days? If only no one has someone die when I say so. After that they kidnap people. After they go kill with own soldiers. Then if they can't talk, someone would get 5 days of lockdown. Go now they see and say this man they only try for kill we.
Okay, well, I will leave it there. He the only try, Chris, I know they only try for Kiwana. Ladies and gentlemen, look at the hypocrisy in this. I like you guys to see the hypocrisy in this. You guys know that for the past 5 years, if there was 1 or 2 or 3 or 10 lockdowns, I brought you the announcements. We've brought you 5 days lockdowns. We brought you 2 weeks lockdown. Sometime I think we did like 3 weeks lockdown. Yeah, we did it 3 weeks. And this same guy, and those 3 weeks or 2 weeks or 1 week or 2 days lockdowns were all sanctioned and sealed by somewhere. Sako. Does it strike you that the same Sako now says, we have announced a 5-day lockdown to kill you? Can you believe the same person who declared 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 1 week lockdowns, ladies and gentlemen, within the past 5 years is now the one saying, oh, we passed a 5-day lockdown to kill you? Tell me, who is really for this struggle? It is politics. Samuel Ekome Sako, all that he is doing now is sabotage. And I want Ground Zero to know this. Take nothing with a pinch of salt on that so-called ABC if you are even still tuning to it, because they are now playing the role that SCBC was doing. ladies and gentlemen. Remember what SCBC was doing? That's what they are doing now, sabotaging the struggle. In this time when he was a legitimate leader for the past 4 years and counting, Samuel Ikome Sako declared not once, not twice, not thrice, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks lockdowns. And when he is impeached and removed, he wants to sabotage the struggle. He now wants you to believe that a 5-day lockdown will kill you. Come on, is that a leader? Where is consistency? If he had just said, oh, you know what, I am declaring a 2-day lockdown and I just want you to obey the 2-day lockdown and not say anything, I will spare him. But for him to have the effrontery to come out and tell you they are passing a 5-day lockdown to kill you, come on. All right, let me bring in my panel to look into this before we continue into the rest of our discussion. Comrade Sama Thomas, great to see you. Please bend your camera slightly, a little bit, please. There you go, there you go. And okay, wonderful, wonderful. Good to see you, sir.
I will no longer be calling you privileged. I will no longer be calling you Chris. You are a coup plotter.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't deny that I'm a coup plotter and I will remain a coup. In fact, they say I'm the leader of the coup plotters, you know. That's why they're coming after me all the time.
I've seen the people are voting of every other person. You are the champion of everything. Coup plotter, from coup plotter to whatsoever. I don't understand what they will give again to you tomorrow.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they failed. Unfortunately, they failed. Thank you for joining me. Let me get to Uncle B first before I get over to you. Uncle B, sir, good to see you. I guess you are one of the coup plotters too.
Of course, Richard Chris, I'm number one coup plotter. I will give you the story when we progress. I want to thank the Ambazona family for actually listening and getting the message. Because when you get to where people think that they will hear them, and if they can fabricate as many stories as they can, but they fail to know that Ambazona people are mature enough to distinguish between fake and truth. Well, as Comrade Sama says, I will not call you Secretary Chris again, but I will call you a killer because you've made 5 days lockdown to kill Ambazonian people. The problem is the lockdown is not pronounced by Secretary Chris, it's pronounced by the president of Ambazona, Eya Marenta. How does it become Secretary Chris declaring a go down when the president is out there that declared the lockdown?
Well, so Uncle B, hold on there. Let me get to the point. You know, that is something that unfortunately, I am the one with the voice making the announcements all the time. And the temptation out there is for people to believe that if it is 10 days, if it is 1 day, it's Chris Anu. It's Chris Anu who decided. They don't know that we get into meetings and I sit there and I listen to the debate and whatever is arrived at, I bring it here. They don't understand this. Even this guy, Martin Mungwa, making this audio, of course, he wasn't in the legitimate government of Sako, so you wouldn't understand. If he is there making the decisions, then he must be a terrible guy. But here, I don't make the decisions. Of course, I sit in there, we discuss them, and majority always carries the vote. That's how decisions are arrived. All right, go on, sir.
Secretary Chris, the problem is they know the voices they want to silence.
Correct.
Well, I believe that they search Madam President, they can't discover anything, and the target in the government that they've been focusing to bring down is you. You are not just saying that you deliberate and you come to announce. Even in the council, they were saying that is you writing everything and giving to the Restoration Council to just stamp and send out there.
Right.
Just imagine the mentality of that 30-something adult, independent people will sit, then somebody will write something and give them to stamp and send it out there. How do you reconcile that? So, in a nutshell, as we are getting into the program, we'll talk more, but I want to thank the ambassador people for continuing to listen and continuing to make the differentiate between truth and fabrication. So, thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. Comrade Summer, let me get back to you. I mean, you listen to these guys with Sako. They are telling people they want Ground Zero to believe that a 5-day lockdown is going to kill them. And yet you look at the record. Sako for 4 years called lockdowns for weeks, for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and I did the announcement so they cannot say, oh, he is lying. I carried out those announcements. Isn't this the height of hypocrisy for them to now want Ground Zero to believe, oh, Chris, I know, and blah, 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 they want you to die?
Secretary Chris, like you call Mungwa a shenanigan, like all the shenanigans in the Sako what so I can quite remember that Sako called for the 3 weeks, or I will not say Sako, when we were in the IG, we called for a 3-week lockdown in Ground Zero, which other movements were really against those that long period of long lockdown that we were killing our people. The lies, the shenanigans of Martin Mungwa never raised finger that we were killing our people. Just last year, if I'm not mistaken, we called for about a 2 weeks lockdown. By then, I've shifted to allow the IG run the way they run it. We over that after the ADA come in with its own lockdown, which I warn that people should be very careful with such things. They should respect it because we are talking about gun carriers. Some never saw it, or was never saw then that period was too long. It is 5 days, 2 weeks then, but today is 5 days. That for the lives of Mungwa is too long. I think the thing is going to tell Southern Cameroonians that Sako is irrelevant, and he wants to make himself relevant by playing, always accuse him for playing politics of no struggle.
Comrade, I think the word irrelevant is just inadequate, because I think he is more than irrelevant. Because if you have the ability to speak the truth, then it makes a difference. But when you go to the public, put out audio saying that a 5-day lockdown is going to kill people, whereas you yourself has called for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks lockdowns in the past. How can you escape that? Isn't it hypocrisy?
That is hypocrisy at the highest order, Secretary Chris. If Sako will use the ABC, like they are saying, they use the ABC, they are not using it to promote this struggle, but they are using it because they want to downgrade and blackmail other Southern Cameroonians. Then they don't know what they are doing. For when we come up with the idea of a 5-day lockdown, I was against it. I didn't go out to the public to say the 5-week lockdown, but I was trying to people to look into it and see that we lose the 5-week lockdown. But majority of the people went with the 5 days. So this is nothing. Other sister organizations contacted me that I should come out to say that we are going to have a 1-day lockdown. I refused and said if they want anything lockdown, they should come to the public and discuss IG of the legitimate IG headed by Madam Marianne for us the lockdown or something. Not coming to me as an individual you are talking about a lockdown. So I told them I was going to come out to support you guys with such a lockdown. And that with the confusion I don't want to see Cameroon struggle. If we do not want to come together as a people, do things in the manner, then we should just go our way for everybody to do whatever thing he do.
Yeah.
But
Uncle,
for Sako, let Sako knows that what he was doing yesterday is still what the IG is doing today. For the IG controls the ground and not Sako like it was the day of Siseko. We told him we were the ones controlling the ground and not Siseko. So Sako should also know that we were controlling what is going on the ground and not Sako.
thank you, Uncle B. This is one of the problems that the people over there still did not realize. I think they still think that Sako is still the president, which is, I mean, the Restoration Council impeach and remove him. They just haven't come to terms with that, isn't it?
Yeah, Secretary Chris, that's the gospel truth about that. But the problem sometimes is because I want to talk about the people on Ground Zero. Most of them may not be privy to have gotten the message and who is who and who is not who. Because it just remember the time we took to get people to know about Yuke's impeachment. So it's not a matter of time, they will know. But what I want to say here, Secretary Chris, is the ambassador, or let's say the black mark greed, where you are giving powers. Who gives powers? The people give you the powers. And if the people say the power is over, it's but normal for you to say you should go and leave it for the next person. I give an example. When they voted in the Restoration Council for that we should go to election, well, we saw the law that was in the council, the resolution or the motion that was put on the floor and passed, one giving him 2 years mandate, and that one giving him 2 year mandate and converting him from acting president to president. Those motions were passed the same day, and they are all out there. And we showed everybody that. For him to then select that I will take the one that says I should be president for 2 years, then I will refuse the one that says I'll have to go for election for 2 years, becomes a problem with Ambazonian people. So what I'm trying to say here is when we voted in the House, it was 25 against, I think 6, 25 voting for that we must go for election because we saw the law. How do you go to the council, see the law, and they vote for something different? But then 25 out of that show absolute majority. Then why don't you respect it? Those are the institutions we talk about. When you talk about institutions, it's respecting the laws of the land. But then when the laws are exercised and they are not in your favor, remember Secretary he said he couldn't say anything because the law was in his favor. In his favor. Between him and who? The Amazonian people? So you see, this is what is troubling us here with saying that we are calling for a 5-day lockdown, and somebody says it cannot be 5 days, it should be 2 days. This man here shouted on top of his voice as many as Comrade Sama at the time to say that, supporting our government, to say that they have pronounced that. And they told us when they want to do that, they always consult with Ground Zero about 5 times before they come up with that.
Right.
I will believe that. But this time around, this other person can say we can tell it with Ground Zero. Say no, it cannot be that. It must be that. It must be because it's too. How can it be too ironical for somebody to have done what you just said, and they turn around and say no, this person cannot do it? Take for instance again, the Secretary General of the Restoration Council at the time when those laws were passed, he went out there, used a degree, interviewed her on ABC, and she explained that these laws are this, are this, are this. They were there. Only for her, when the law is supposed to be exercised, they turn around and say, I'm not respecting the law. I want to go and create her own restoration council with Toro Sako. So you see the problem. I don't know whether it's because we know what we stand for or what we know we don't know what we stand for. So most of that with the idea of the ghost town, what he has done over and over and over, he turns around and says, no, it is destructive, it's going to kill us. How do you reconcile yourself with such a standing? So it becomes so difficult. But I want Amazonian people to not run on ground zero. We have a government. Just the same, I will left from you, we went to Sako. We left Sako. And the thing is that when we were living at you, the people in Sako who are there shouted that he must go because of this and this. He has done just that and worse than that. But you see, he's not going. So how do you reconcile that?
Yeah.
So you see, all this situation is what I don't know how it's only our people, we will distinguish that, because that person who says I'm not going, because he's what he is. But it is us to carry the message and distinguish between who is for the revolution, who is telling all the truth, and who is not telling us. If somebody go over his words all the time, it cannot be consistent. It says here today, it's saying that tomorrow. It's
Well,
too
that
much in
is
my head.
essentially sabotage. And
Of
I
course.
really hope that Ambazonians on ground zero listening to us knows who is fighting for this struggle. As I said, Uncle B, and I will let Sama comment on this. Sako's own backyard, referring to Victoria, Tiko Boya, Motengene, all those places, Fako as a whole remains a dead ground. Nothing is happening there. Of course, with the allegations that they took money from the companies around there and from their elite and decided to do anything. But Sako wants people to die in Bui, wants people to die in Goketunjia, wants people to die in the BLM, wants people to die in Mezam. His own backyard, his own county, Fako, does nothing. Nothing happens there. How can people consider such a person like this a leader?
Secretary,
Yes, sir. Go in.
the people of my LGA, Mancon Bachongwa, almost reached me if at all I was in the United States. For God so kind, I was for action over and how possible is it that a leader in this struggle like of his own county from time immemorial has happened to be different with the situation that all Southern Cameroonians are going through? Keep on calling that our leader. When in elsewhere, he told me I am the leader, of which one house is not organized. I used to ask, the money that was raised for Fako in the year 2020.
Comrade Sama, if you can log back in to see if your audio will be better. It's breaking a lot. And yes, try to do that. Let's see if we can get a better audio of you. Meanwhile, Uncle B, yes, how do we call somebody a leader in a struggle like this and nothing is happening in his own backyard, not because there is no money, but because he is incapable or bribed from carrying out action in Fako?
Let's just keep even aside the deals he has in Fako. Let's go only to what we do with our draft. I had a rough calculation of our 20% that go to the federal government, that direct into the former president's hands. I calculated our CID that goes direct to his hands. I calculated all special fundraisers that we've done. It gave me the minimum, to be very conservative, almost 200 million. Get only to that Secretary Chris. Can he show or the people run around him? Can they show us what that money that went right to his hand? The way you say, oh, this person did it, well, not me. This person, but the one that came right to your hands. Can you tell us in that same Fako that we raised money for? Can he show us this is what I did with the money that was raised? Can he show us this is what I did? Even just 5 sticks that were bought and given to a fighting group, whether this
Correct.
is from the central government. Can he show that to us?
No,
so it's surprising.
Hold on there. You are very correct, because I recall we drafted for FACO. Then a month later, we conducted another fundraiser just to raise funds to take care of AFCON. I remember every county chipped in something to support AFCON. in FACO. We have not seen a single stick in the social media bought in FACO by the guys who pretend to defend FACO, not even by Sako himself. Sako will not as much as tell anybody what happened with the AFCON funds. Nobody has an idea about it.
That's very correct, but AFCON put this together with the AFCON money, national territory fundraising that we did. That was before AFCON and the special fundraisers. And for people who he's already calling out for another draft, and he's refusing to go for an audit.
Yeah.
What sort of a leader in the world will have this amount of money in his pocket? Either he used it, by the way, he used it, misappropriated, or did what we cannot tell what he did with the money. But we're asking, simply go for the audit and tell us what you did with the money. Let's see where the money went to. So do you remember when you shouted about audit with the Maitri Tuboya, with the Tabenyang and all of these people? It was you who came shouting that people are refusing to go for audit. They must go for audit. And then finally, the Tabenyang, some of them refused to go for the audit. We shouted at the time that they are in the evils of the revolution. It has actually repeated itself here right now.
No, absolutely.
Now we are saying,
right.
Say, I'm not going for any audit.
Right.
So how do we condemn somebody yesterday and we come in, we do exactly the same thing? And when they condemn you, you develop tantrum. That how did they condemn me? When you did the same thing yesterday.
Yeah.
I will only want Ambassador people to let him tell us where all those monies, especially those of Agoda, was special care. And donations came from other quarters, not only the one we did. Not even a gunshot was raised in FACO.
Nothing.
Where did the money go to?
Up to today, as we speak, nothing has happened to FACO. Nothing.
Neither has he told us that either this happened or this happened, nothing. He remained quiet. Now he's coming to ask for more money. Yeah. And then if those who will continue to give, are they really serious, or they are in the game of not wanting us to go somewhere?
We're waiting to see who actually wants to give, because I think the time that Sako will pick the phone and call somebody and say, pay for my trip to Brazil, I think that moment is over. Nobody's going to pay his trip anymore.
But the Bongwas will give. The Mongwas will be there to give.
Well, so for how long, though? The question is, for how long would they give? How long would they give? I don't know. Even I think Irengwa cannot just pick the phone and say, hey, Kombi, the president needs you to take care of this trip. Right.
So the Chris, I want to say, let Ambassador people know this. We are not here to throw abuses on people. We are asking questions that everybody is supposed to ask, where is this and where is this? You are the leader of the Ambassador people, plus me, plus you, all of us, we have the right to ask, where did my money go to? Some of the people may not think that all the head circle are the question we are raising illegitimate or unfounded. If I say, tell me where the money went to, Boya, did it go somewhere there? Did not see it? That's what I'm asking. If I say go for audit, let me see where the money went to. What the audit will show us, and you don't go for an audit, and you don't even tell me what happened with my money. What do you want me to do? Therefore, you are an incompetent leader and has to be removed, and another one comes in. And the one that came in, I will give kudos to the President Secretary of Defense and Madam President. See, that's it. People fail to know every change has a merit, in the sense that, see what the woman just came yesterday, and what is happening out there within 2 months plus. See what is happening out there. What they've decided to do, they've decided to deal direct with the boys, and they see the result the next day.
Yeah.
But yesterday, the person took the money, the one took the money. I didn't know where it went to. It was the same story with my Chituboya. Now we have the same story with the draft. We need accountability, and they will always say we need accountability and building of institutions. This is what we are fighting for. Thank you.
Well, let's move on, Uncle B, to the next subject here that has to do with what I call the height of frustration in La République du Cameroon. La République du Cameroon is now arming vigilante groups, ladies and gentlemen, with Okada machines, with motorbikes. Now, these are the images that came off from Ground Zero today, with La République du Cameroon arming, ladies and gentlemen, bike riders. Sorry, not bike riders. They are so-called vigilante groups, arming vigilante groups with motorbikes. Those are the motorbikes you find right there on your screen. The Cameroon government is buying these and distributing up in the northern zone. I do not see any official here from the southern zone. I can see northern zone colonial governor Lele Lafrique and some colonial SDOs there receiving the motorbikes, and they are being severely warned to make sure the motorbikes get into the right hands. They should not vanish in the middle of the way. Sabah Thomas, now I guess you have not forgotten that at the beginning of this war, they brought in, they paraded these First World War armored cars, tankers, and trying to send the message they were going to crush Ambazonia restoration fighters. Now they send out also some Chinese-made armored trucks. They went to the BLM. The first one was crushed with the governor in there. And now they are graduating to motorbikes. What do you make of that? Graduating from armored cars to yeah.
Secretary Chris.
Think about that.
How can you from an car to a tuk-tuk?
Yeah.
That is it. But what I want to say here, Secretary Chris, is La Republic is confused. Let me quote something which Lele Afrique said 3 years ago to the Bamenda in the southern Cameroons. He asked all the Bamenda in the southern Cameroons, or in Bamenda in particular, to leave.
Right.
And if you cannot leave and you choose to stay, know that you are going to work as an informant. And what? When this war started, our forces on the ground, time without that no La Republican citizen living in the southern Cameroons is a good one. All of them are spies. For us to succeed in getting rid of La Republican Cameroons, we first of all target the civilian that is living among us in the city. As we get rid of the one, then we ought to face the military, which we can identify with. But people eat during that time. Now I in that position. Let me go back. One day, La Republique, they are now using tuk-tuk, bicycles. But what I can advise people on the ground is that anybody you see is kill that person. Even if that person is your brother, kill him. Don't take the bike for anything. Take the bike, use the bike as a booby trap. Not for the bike.
Yeah.
If we do not behave like the Taliban, then we don't at war. Get this bike or any vehicle public. Do not burn that vehicle. Use a big trap for the come and that trap. Let them bring in more bike. Bring it bike to more body parts. That's the only error.
Wonderful. Uncle B, chipping on that, please.
Yeah, if I have very little to chip on that, I want our people the education we should give our bike riders, and because I know that from a particular area they know themselves, and what they are saying here are brand new. Let
They
our
don't look like
fighters.
brand new to me, though.
Yeah, they look like actually.
Okay.
You want the government to go and buy a used thing and give to somebody to use? That government should not be serious of itself, right? So if that is new, our boys, areas should know themselves, and I'm sure they do. You are riding an Okada in Bamenda or somewhere where you are, your colleagues will know you. And any strange person, you see, when they kill or they will say, oh, well, we thought it was Amber. When they take boys from their houses and kill them, they will say, but what the truth is that anybody who has not been riding an Okada amongst themselves, who is coming new, should be a target. Let the person go down for. And anybody who has a new bike should be able to be stopped and checked and let him produce what he is immediately. He does that because normally we have a lot of bikes around. So the education which we give our boys, they will try the certificate. They will try all the avenues, try all the way to do it. But God, that we say is ordained, He has ordained the revolution, will always give us a way out. Let the buy even helicopters or something like that will see succeed. Because when they carry those huge ammo cars, they thought that it would deter Amazonia from doing what they were doing. Remember when they carried some large one to Tunja built on a mountain somewhere that they were going to be shooting 20 miles away? We never heard even one gunshot. That was the war of the mind. That was psychological warfare that they were doing that would deter us. But they failed to know that these boys are determined. Our boys do not ride bikes on the street. And before you take a bike to where they are, and our bike riders, there should be a real check for them to know who is this and who is doing what. And if you buy a bike at this moment, go to them, identify yourself, and research for them to know that this is a one of others is doing this. So anybody's stage, no matter from where, even somebody who is among them automatically come with a new bike, he should tell all the source where he has gotten the money to buy a new bike, because that's the only way we can check these guys, without which, and we'll succeed. We will succeed. Our boys should be educated to how to identify these boys. When they go to Mbendu for all of these nearby that are motorable, even right to the interior of our land, in the term of doing Okada. Shoot! Anybody you see that has a new bike, they shoot. We don't care whether it's one of us or not, shoot.
Yeah.
That's the story. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. Let's move on to another subject here, ladies and gentlemen. We talked about firepower the other day, and firepower is only increasing on ground zero. If you live on ground zero, I think you can bear witness to what we are seeing. We are seeing here, from the BLM to Boyo to Menchum, that is Indu to Banso, and all those places. The boys are on fire, unleashing the fire on the forces of La République du Cameroon. I'd like you to take a look at this. These are Amber warriors getting ready, preparing for 20th May in the Bui. Ladies and gentlemen, again, this is happening in Bui, and those are our restoration fighters getting ready to enforce the lockdowns in Amazonia, even when La République du Cameroon is trying to buy ammo for vigilante groups out there in their territory. Now, I also received some images from FM No PT, ladies and gentlemen, only a few minutes ago, and he was showing me their catch in a recent ambush in Menchum. Take a look at this. Take a look at what they caught out there. Take a look, please. This is again from No PT.
We salute people them for Amazonia. This day, Wednesday, the 11th of May 2022, now have a this where the Unity Warriors of Menchum under Supreme General Robosco, the Duam, who get 2 helmets, 2 gun proofs, and their shoe them when I visit their phone them, 2 AK-47 with 7 magazines. They now walk this way. The Unity Warriors inside Menchum under Supreme General Robosco, they do am.
Okay, so again, that is coming from No PT FM, No PT, ladies and gentlemen. They are out, they are ready to enforce lockdown. I continue to appeal to every one of you on ground zero. The reasons why we call these 5 days lockdown will never be explained to you on television until it is over, but you can trust that we do not jump off our beds and go out and announce a lockdown, a 5-day lockdown in that matter. So we trust you to know that we do this for the interest and for the freedom of the Southern Cameroons. Beginning Monday through 20th, everywhere in Amazonia is bound to be locked down, and we ask you, please stay home. We do not want a stray bullet. We do not want a stray bullet coming after you. Before I get back to you out there, the panelists, one more thing that is happening is the issue, the question of whether Regina Mundi should die or live. Yesterday, I saw some information out there. I call it propaganda. ADF propaganda stating that Dion Ngute, the colonial prime minister, actually gave an interview to the BBC and alleged that they have offered 40 million for the release of Miss Regina Mundi. But the militants, as they put it, the militants would not agree to the offer. Now, let me set the record straight. There is nothing like an interview between Dion Ngute and the BBC anywhere in the social media, not online, not on any BBC web page. So that assumes that information is out there. That information out there is just propaganda. But this is what we have learned. We have learned that the Ministry of Defense in La République du Cameroon has officially been given charge to make sure, take care of the release of Miss Regina Mundi. So you can tell how big a fish Regina Mundi, ladies and gentlemen, is to La République du Cameroon, that a whole defense department, their whole defense department will be given special instructions to make sure that Regina Mundi is freed. Well, the question is whether she should die or live. And I will repeat this again. I said here a few days ago that, listen, when you capture somebody at war, you don't kill that person. For as long as she is captured, I don't think it is the right thing to kill her. But listen, we have lots and lots of prisoners in Kondenge, in Douala, in Boya, in Bamenda. How about the 40 Oku boys? We have lots of these boys locked up all over La République du Cameroon. It's a right thing for the ADF to demand release our brothers, our sisters in Kondenge, in Douala. Some of them are chained on their beds, ladies and gentlemen. It is the right thing for the ADF to demand that until they are released, we are not releasing this woman, Mrs. Mundi. It is a right thing to do. And the idea that the ADF will just be demanding for the release of Mfongalamfo, it doesn't make sense to me. Mfongalamfo is only one prisoner. How about the whole Naira 10? How about the 40 from Oku? How about those languishing in Boya and in Bamenda? The ADF, I mean, we have seen that Regina Mundi is a big fish to La République du Cameroon. And I think the ADF will do this revolution good, or the struggle good, by saying you are keeping our brothers for no reason. We have Regina Mundi. If she is so precious to you, we want you to release our brothers and sisters who are languishing in your gulags across your country. It's the right thing to do. So I hope that the ADF will do exactly that. Comrade Sama, tell me where I am wrong, please.
Secretary Chris, but let me say this. I am one of those persons that has been called at the ADF for having picked up Madame Regina Mundi. Because Madame Regina Mundi is one of those that day Dr. Foncha and frustrated him. Dr. died as a result of that frustration from the likes of Regina Mundi, but they never learned a lesson. Some of us in this over 30 years who offered upon the list of Regina Mundi to the system, the world, complaint to give the Southern Cameroon people, which they refused. To kill tens of thousands of Cameroonians before 2016, of which after 2016 we've lost over 4,000 Southern Cameroonians because of the likes of Regina Mundi. Those people that La Republic of Cameroon have massacred in the Southern Cameroon for the past 5 years are mothers, fathers, children, grandchildren, and what have you. Regina Mundi cannot be more than the number of souls that have died in Southern Cameroon. If I'm supporting, if I'm saying that Regina Mundi's life should be the next, it's only they choose Regina Mundi as a bet to release those that are in large dungeon as a result of Regina Mundi. After all those people are released and guaranteed, then we will swap Regina Mundi with the Red Cross, the International Red Cross, another crap in La Republic Red Cross, where I don't trust anything comes from there. The United Nations must dispatch a mission to take all our brothers and sisters, parents in La Republic dungeons and also elsewhere in Southern Cameroons across the Mungo and make sure that up to the last La Republic sign in the Southern Cameroons before Regina Mundi can be set free. If at all she can, or her corpse be given over to La Republic of Cameroon. And again, let me see opportunity to tell all those enablers who call themselves mayors, councillors, house of chiefs, as they call it, the Southern Cameroons, parliamentarians, senators, ministers, what have you. Now is the time for you to resign. Do not wait that when you are in the dragnet, you now potentially read a letter given to you as mandam deeds. So as when you are released, you go to your own to say, I did that to serve my head. If you don't resign by your own accord now, and you are caught, we will serve your head. Some of my people are on my throat that no Southern Cameroonian blood should go down because of what I say. I've been suffering for the past over 30 years, so struggling to bring some sense into the lives of Regina Mundi, but they love their money and their family at the detriment of all. And I will not be one of those that will say such persons should live even for the next second at the detriment of all as well. They should be killed
all right.
So that we serve the rest that these people are still planning to send to their graves. We cannot all die with few gullible people like Regina Mundi.
Well, she should be killed. Uncle B, you know that La Republique de Cameroon has been trying really hard to get the international community label all of us as terrorists, a terrorist group. Now, there are those who have advanced the argument that If you kill Regina Mondi, you have just put the evidence in the hands of La République du Cameroon, and they will get the international community labeling us a terrorist group because of the death of this woman. Does that hold any water for you?
Yes, thank you so much, Secretary Chris. Actually, that's exactly what I wanted to say. Why sit by? Sometimes they will say all cards are on the table, as we say here, but I want to think that what you just said is actually has a lot of meaning because this woman, we have the right to do what they just did. But to go to the level we are going to kill, it's a different level. We can keep her and demand as much money as we can. It will be of our interest. Because if we kill her now, say she was unarmed, and they'll call her innocent woman, unarmed, and elderly woman, and we catch her and do this. It will be a different story. We just discovered something here, which I'm not here to announce it here with the Madam Moni. We just got something here that can be very, very beneficial for us because these guys in Yaoundé, even you see, Madam Mundi was just leaving her in Bamenda, going her to with no problem. I see we're not at war. And there are the likes of her that was crying for. There are the likes of her that were saying that we are in trouble because our brothers will not want to follow us, our sisters will not want to follow us. For instance, as Thomas is saying, we have thousands that are dead. If we were to kill her and get independent, I'll go in for that full time. But now the likes of her should know that this is what awaits them. This is what awaits. And my take is that she should not be released at any one moment until a better leverage is done in terms of swapping our leaders for her because they tend to value her as somebody who is very valuable. That's why the ministry has given a charge to release. We then see who we are supposed to go for. That will hurt the La République du Cameroon. We might have been really be reluctant. The capture of this lady has not given us where the weapon of La République du Cameroon is. And I think it's things like that we go for it as much as we can. Because our brothers and sisters do not seem to think that we are dying. If this lady had any one time, those children that were killed, the Garbus and all of the massacres and that we only sent out a communique to say that this is wrong. Let's stop it. But they never thought it necessary to. But when they are told, even still, oh no, you don't have to do it. How much of those children, 11 children that were killed, 7 that were killed in combat, those that were killed on the street, did they make a step? Why is it so difficult for these people to only? Why can't they make a delegation and go to their master HOD and tell them this is what we want? Why are they all silent? And when we hear them like this, we are the very ones that say that no, leave her, leave her, leave her. But then we'll learn something from the captured woman. So as you say, kudos to Eric to ADF because for capturing her, but we want to use her for the most maximum leave what we can do. She shouldn't leave that place until we are satisfied with what we want before she can get out of there. Thank you.
Now, Uncle B, how about those who say that you cannot keep her for this long because it then becomes a security risk to the boys who are keeping her?
No, but that's the right thing. What is disturbing us is that we don't yet have a sort of a place where we can keep these people and where we can keep them really guard it to make sure they don't. Let them take her to the forest of Oku.
Let them take her where?
To the forest of Oku. Or the forest
of Kumbo.
Yes. So that they don't find out which, because Secretary Chris, if we fumble with the woman, we have fumbled a lot in this struggle. I'm telling you, we've caught La République where we know it hurts a lot. Let's get the maximum output from there.
So we all
By
agree,
any means.
I guess, that the ADF has for once done something right. Samuel Thomas,
Right.
let me get back to you.
Secretary Chris,
Yes, sir.
I congratulated the ADF, the arrest of Regina Mundi. And I am encouraging all fighting group ground that if it is possible, excuse me, to abandon the public soldiers to go after the likes of Regina Mundi. If we can be able to pick all of them and let them be in our keeping,
Exactly.
life or death, then we've done a great thing, a great service to the liberation of Southern Cameroons. When Indeli left Nigeria, he left with everybody, a minister, and those that were representing the Southern Cameroons as parliamentarians in Nigeria. Nigeria got nothing to hang on again about the Southern Cameroons, so they had to surrender. Since the 90s, we've been calling upon all Southern Cameroonians that were representing us in La Republic's House of Shame, which I used to call it the Duma of the Tsar of Russia. That lasted till 1917, that they should leave, so that the United Nations shouldn't be saying that we are represented in that house. Instead of them leaving, be as cohorts saw a reason to protect the likes of Regina Mundi to be there and keep us in bondage. Secretary Chris, like the Bible says, it is good to go to heaven with one eye or no eye than to go to hell with all your eyes, thinking that you are seeing things. Things start coming to the realization that anybody who is pretending to be represented in Yaoundé is better dead than being alive. For that is the only way we can liberate ourselves. So pick the likes of Regina Mundi, pick all of them without remorse. There are no prisons. We have prisons. So to go keep Regina Mundi or anybody of the sort elsewhere, and you waste your time instead of going to fight the enemy, you are protecting. You don't want her to run. You are feeding her. They give you to eat or to buy materials to pursue, to keep on pursuing the war with. You are feeding this type of. It is unacceptable. Get such a person, deal with him, and you continue the struggle.
All right, all right. That is a very, very strong stance there. Uncle B, you have anything to add there before I open the phone lines, please?
Yes, please. I do. I do. You see, Secretary, some of these situations are very, very complicated to navigate. In the sense that we are thinking that, oh, the international community is going to do all this. Or our brother, the same as saying that we should not do this. We tend to be led by public opinion and not what a war situation demands. Because the fact that what I'm sympathetic to her, that the fact that they caught her and show her to the world that we have her is where the problem is. Just I was asking the boss Oko. But now, if they had done their job immediately, that happened, we would not have been saying what we are saying here today. I will know the job that I'm talking about here. But the fact that they caught us say we have this person, it automatically expose to the world that we have this person. And any wrong thing that we do that will lead to either a death situation will not pain us good. But, and I repeat, but, the maximum, if she can stay there for 20 years until we get what we want, then can we think that she is supposed to be liberated? Without which, we have an opportunity to reap something for that. We'll call that where it hurts. Thank you.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. I will now go ahead and open the phone lines. We'd like to hear what you are thinking out there, what is in your mind, especially if you are on ground zero. Let's know what you are thinking. You got the phone line right there on your screen. You go ahead and call, and you can only call by way of WhatsApp. Okay, I see the first caller here calling from San Antonio, Texas. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, so is this CBS?
This is CBS, and you are live, sir.
Thank you very much. This is Ephraim calling from San Antonio. To anybody who doesn't know me, I'm the chairman of the Minimum LGA.
Okay.
I'm the vice chair of the Momo County. So before I get into talking with your panel, the both of whom I know quite much, Comrade Summer Thomas and the honorable gentleman.
Yes, Uncle B, popularly known as Uncle B.
I got torn between calling him Uncle
B.
Uncle B and the other name. So anyway, I have this honest request to make to you. Just let anybody, any of these persons listening to you from home, to send you a sample of those bikes. We need a typical sample, a sample of those bikes, so that if we see anybody riding them, we attribute guilt to that person. And for anybody not riding them, we attribute innocence to such a person or to those persons. And those two things will determine how we treat the persons. We need a sample to use as the decision point at which to take care of these people, people at home, or not to take care of them. So we need one, just one.
Okay.
Secondly, talking about keeping Regina Mundi, like somebody remarked, that we don't have prisons. We don't have prisons in Amazonia to store them, and we don't have food to feed them. So what's the purpose? If we hold them, we can keep them for 1 week, hoping that La Republique can meet us on our terms, and we give them the person. And those terms should be very, very strict. You either release all of our people in Kondenge, the Nera 10, the rest of them in New Bell and so on, and get that one person, or we get rid of that person for you, and you never even see where the person is buried. So I think we need to be very hard on these people, and they will keep to our terms.
Okay.
Again,
All
there are
right.
no prisons. Uncle B, there are no prisons. Comrade Summer Thomas, there are no prisons, as you said. So
No, Summer Thomas is not for prison. Summer Thomas one had gone. Is Uncle B who wants prisons?
We don't have. I wish we had. We don't have. Keep these people for 1 week, feed them for 1 week, as you may, and after that, say okay, we can't do it anymore, and we better be sending our money to No Pity than feeding Regina Mundi. And talk about No Pity, can we have some better words from him? Let's know what he's doing, so we can gather some more support for him. We need to hear from him, please. We need to hear from No Pity.
Yes, I actually texted with No Pity just before coming live, and he sent me these images.
We salute people them for Amazonia.
An ambush that his
This
boys carried out
today,
Wednesday,
Wednesday, the 11th of May 2022. Now harvest this where the Unity Warriors of Menchum under Supreme General Robosco, the Duam, who get 2 headmate, 2 gun proofs, and their shoe them when I visit their phone them, 2 AK-47 with 7 magazines. Then now walk this way, the Unity Warriors inside Menchum under Supreme General Robosco, the Duam.
Maybe 20.
This is,
20 or even more.
this is part of that footage that you saw.
Okay. Then that's really encouraging. Even without that, that is encouraging. That's quite encouraging. I want to get more and more.
We salute people them for Amazonia.
Barren, the Menemo area, the Momo as a whole, the Momo area as a whole is still barren, but we hope we'll catch up. Thank you very much.
Well, let's hope that they get inspired by what they see in the BLM, in the Boyo, in Menchum, like this one, and rise up once more. Thank you for the call.
And at the end of it, sir, I wish you the best. More grease to your elbows, Secretary Chris. You in particular, more grease to your elbows. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Uncle B, you have a word for that?
Yes, I will want to tell my vice chair that I be so president. I don't even know your honorable name. Did you find I certainly a loss. So that's the let you know that I will take him to court for that. To be very honest, when I say when you find yourself in a situation where you go front, you go back, there are no good options. And it is not good to come here because that is the only option we have. Right? This is not the only option we have. We keep it as some sort of a blank check for that to happen. Because normally sometimes to come on TV and say that let's do this, let's do this, let's do this, it might not be very, very welcoming to the international body as we say. That sometimes we watch our words when we say here. But all I would recommend is the truth is that we don't have where to keep them. What leverage do we have to force them to must come immediately for the way we want it? If we have to go to bargain for something, it is hard, really hard tough will be not to fall or not to give in. If they give in immediately, that's fine. If they cannot give in for us to make that we must have what we have from them, we must develop a device to or a means to doing or keeping her until we get what we want. Well, we're not going to leave her without getting what we want. That's where the problem is.
All
Thank you.
right, let's get to the next caller here. Hello, sir.
Hello, Secretary Chris.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yeah, Secretary Chris, this is Ernest from Maryland.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to thank you for the work you are doing and, and the determination you have to execute this struggle. I also want to extend my greetings to Uncle B and Sama there at the studio. And what I have to say is that, first is you remember, Chris, that with your own voice given to liberate Southern Cameroon, Amazonia, you have said that we don't have elections in Southern Cameroon, Amazonia several times, and we did it so, and it was successful. So Regina Mondi is only important for the fact that he has been used, to put us in this kind of situation, and cannot be our representative. And then for that reason, I also say that, and she as she is, she is only a tool. She is nothing to La Republique. Because they will only play to the dialogue. As soon as everything is not said again, they don't hear anyway. That is all about it. Look at what happened in there. You can remember all of that. So I also want to thank Sama for advocating that we should just deal with these people. And the important thing, most probably, is that we should give a sound warning to all of them that are still there and enabling the Republic to feel that we have a string that we are attached to, because they are like a string on our necks. They are like the ropes. They are the ones that have strangulated us. So, and they must have a heavy punishment that no one should even ask what that punishment is going to be. Lastly, Chris, I want to say that thank you for taking ADF to task. They would have used this thing for their games. It cannot happen because our eyes are open. Thank you so much, sir. You have a nice day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the call. God bless. Okay, let's. The phones are ringing. Let's give them opportunity to air their minds. Did I lose the last call? Did I lose the last caller? Okay. Hello.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Calling from Ground Zero, Habakwa, correct?
But that's why you're very correct, sir.
Tell us a little bit about the accident along Bamenda, Upstation downtown Knee Road, please. What do you know?
Yes, actually, you covered what you said on the show. I have nothing to add to what you said on the show. You said quite a lot about the accident.
Okay.
There's actually nothing to add there.
All right.
Greetings to my kinsman, Uncle B. Is my kinsman. We are from the same tribe, from the same village.
Okay.
Greetings to my former neighbor, Comrade Sama, who I want to congratulate.
Your former neighbor? Where was that?
Yeah, neighbor. In Abakwa.
So, you know each other?
Yes, we know each other. He knows me. He wouldn't know me now because it's been long, but if I introduce myself, he will know.
Okay.
Anyway, for security reasons, we are just keeping it like that.
All right, go on, please. Make your point.
Yes, and I've come to observe that Comrade Sama is a very, very realistic Ambazonian. His approach, his perspective is very, very realistic, and I am very convinced that Amazonia, Buya will reach Buya the day we become like the Taliban just mentioned. We are I don't know what is wrong with us. We have lost more than 30,000 or 40,000 people, hundreds of villages. Francophones do not want to negotiate at all. They want to be more ruthless than before. Yet we catch enablers, criminals, and we are debating about what to do with them. I don't understand. More than 40 Amazonian bike riders are with them. They are not saying anything. We catch enablers and we are debating about what to say. We are talking about international community. International community done. And we have to be ruthless. I continue to say it. Former U.S. Undersecretary for Africa Cohen said Amazonians are not angry enough. That statement is a classic. Yeah, that statement is a classic. It will always be proven right. We are not serious. We are not angry enough. We must become more ruthless. Look at what Sako is doing. Sako will not do that to Arabs, to Muslims, for example. No, they will take him out. Yeah. So one person will just walk out and take that criminal out, and the rest of them. And this nonsense they are doing with our. So we must be realistic. Realistic means ruthless, merciless, wicked in quotes, because in the end it will be legitimate, and we cannot be held accountable for. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the call, sir. Remain safe.
Secretary Chris, can I throw something in there?
Okay, let's get to the next caller from
Secretary Chris.
Zero. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir. May I know where you are calling from, please?
I'm calling in from Douala.
Okay, and what is in your mind?
Okay, I have 5 things to talk about.
You have 1 minute to talk about the 5 things, sir. Go on.
Yeah, the first thing I will say is that those motorbikes that you saw Lele Lafrique giving out for vigilante groups are motorbikes to spy the fighters. They carry GPS, so they know the fighters will attack the people who have the bikes, take the bikes, then they can track the fighters using those bikes.
That is a really good observation you make there. Really good observation. Yes, go on.
Yes, the first thing is if they get those bikes, they burn them immediately. Then secondly, that woman that they capture, that ATL is keeping, they should not kill her, but they should try to get more of such people. At the end of the day, they will use all of them as bargaining power. Then thirdly, I want to respond to Uncle B. When you are at war, you don't look at the international community. The international community is not fighting the war for us. We are the people fighting, and we are the one feeling the pains. Whether the international criminal court will come in or not, you only be after the war, not within the war. Anyway, I don't want to take much time. I will talk next time in the program. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. You remain safe out there in La Republique. Okay, let's see who else is on the line. Ground Zero. Hello. Hello.
Hello, Senator Chris.
Hello, sir. Good evening. Calling from Victoria, correct?
Yes, Secretary Chris.
How is Victoria preparing for the 5 days lockdown, sir?
Victoria is aware of the 5 days, but with the stubbornness of the Bamenda people we have here, they are going out to do the activity, and there are 470-seater bus that entered Victoria today with military people.
470-seater buses entered Victoria today with the Cameroon military.
Yeah, going to Osman Arabi for the preparation of the 20th May, and I want to talk on that bike. From the information we have gotten is that they want to use our boys who master the village very well.
Yeah.
The meeting they had in Bamenda, Upstation, and the governor's office was that they will bring some Bamenda guys to drive the bike, but they refuse that. Those Bamenda guys don't know the villages well. They will look for the Mbororo guys that knows the village well and will use the bike. And back a bike rider, they will dress it the way the other bike rider dress their bike so that the fighters will not know them. I want to be in support with Congress Samar, and even whosoever is driving the bike, as we discover that it's a new bike, we take the bike off because they had a meeting in the governor's office that they has to give it to the village boys, the guys in the village who master the village very well, and they will parading with military, and they have automatic pistol. Led with them, those military will be putting the automatic pistol, not Kalash. They will not move with Kalash. They will move with automatic pistol that they will be tracking down our guys. So our boys will be very, very vigilant and be very, very careful. Any bike that they suspect, they should take the bike down from distance and even burn the bike, because he had that GPS that our brother was just talking. That is what I text you that I need to talk so that the population should know and be safe. Thank you, Secretary Chris.
Wonderful. Thank you. I'm waiting for you to hear what happens in Victoria. You are my eyes in Victoria. Thank you for the call.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Okay, that is those are some critical points there, ladies and gentlemen. Those bikes that you see, they are implanted with GPS, they call it global positioning devices. So if you stumble on one, I'm referring now to the restoration forces, you stumble on them, don't keep them, burn them, and woe betide any civilian who is given any of these bikes to use it to monitor Ambazonia restoration forces. Not only the bikes will be burned, you will go with the bikes. All right, let me get this other caller here. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Canada, but I'm not getting you on the live show.
So you're not getting me on the live show. How did you get me then?
No, okay, sir. Sorry, I have just two questions, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sorry. My first question, I go for Pigeon. I begin from Canada.
Okay.
My first question, I say, this mommy where they don't arrest you, will they keep it now and again waiting? Will I try to enlighten some of you more understand why they keep it and why they never release it, why they release Nij on Fundi, then they keep this mommy, and why they don't arrest another people them? Then my second question, and I say, ma go fast so that man no call that time, then you answer me. Or my second question, I say, if 5 days lockdown will you put them? Some people in the day they come out for morning time, they go struggle, forget the one who they will chop for that day, can't chop for that day. When you put 5 days, so I don't know what they will be the people they will do now. How? 20th May now on Friday, you will put the lockdown for Thursday and Friday.
Okay, all right. Let me answer you. Hold on. Let me answer you the lockdown question.
Secretary Chris, I think I can help answer the question for you
from the beginning.
Come on, someone into that secretary is close us all.
Yes.
Because the question what you asked, both of them not sound like person where they contribute for the revolution.
No, for contribute and for ask question. They are asking a question where if you answer me, you answer me, because I ask question. Say people and deal
Okay,
with the
all right. If you don't follow this struggle since the beginning 5 years ago, not the first lockdown, this we don't call them for 5 days.
No, not be the first.
So what will be the difference with this one, with other ones where we don't call them for 1 week, for 2 weeks, even 3 weeks?
Because we go with normal country Sunday when a Monday, 20 men a Friday.
But Country Sunday, we will start Country Sunday from the onset, from when the struggle will start. And even so, we will still call 3 weeks lockdown, 2 weeks lockdown, 1 week lockdown. So my question again to you is, why do you want to be different?
Because we never even sure say the Republic they will celebrate the 20th May.
But they never cancel them, you know, so right? Remember they canceled, they actually canceled 11 February and announced it. This one, they never cancel them. But to cut it short, you get for understand, say, when we hold these big days, especially 11 February and 20th May, La Republic be in the habit of transporting people from Douala, from Bunda, to Chico, to Victoria, to Boya, to Bamenda, to Santa. And guess what they will do? The moment they do so, they will film them all over, send them for TV, send them for social media, for tell the world, say, Ambazonia is okay, life is returning. When you increase the days, you essentially stop them, because the reason why we increase the days is to monitor them. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. It makes sense. You have a good point.
Yeah, you get for be able to monitor them, may they not enter where, you know, no. If you give only 1 day, the 19, they will enter on the 18th, enter on the 17th, enter on the 16th, enter on the thing is that the more days you give, you render them incapable of paying hotel bills for those people that will load and enter Bamenda and Boya.
That's good. Okay, I'll get you now.
All right. Thank you. Let me let
I be feel say the council because I know sure say they will celebrate the 20th May. I hear say they are part nowhere. So we don't know.
They are part of us celebrate 20th May. You know they celebrate anything. Common African Cup. You know if you go stand for stadium game na 20th May you go celebrate them. All right. Thank you for the question. Let me take other callers. Thank you, sir. All right. Let me see. This is ground zero. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Bamenda.
Bamenda. Okay. And what will be the question for your mind, sir?
Now this palava Okada them. And where they say they can't stand for public, so they want to give Okada them for uncle them, may they monitor boy them. No be baby provocation this. No be that palava black leg and enablers who don't they talk. People they can't stand, they never key no francophone for this thing, they can't stand bullying. They talk about Okada them again, may they monitor boy them. Let me say the one Ghana for let me say palava enabler black leg don't be official now. Now you already talk say may they adopt some policy for be completely ruthless against the thing they say enabler them. You want a big provocation. A big provocation is I would thank that brother when talk about our GPS them. Yeah, so that no fighter no go be so that the other thing will backfire against them. And then you first start now Osako fake doctor. This palava Sako, if I may find something for doing for this Sako, but this Sako no say we for ground zero. Sako, you read your fool yourself. Yeah.
Yes, go on, sir.
You never ever can get account, Sako. See that man if you born Chris Martin Mongwa, who can be the father of Secretary Chris. He never can talk against Secretary Chris. He kill that pa. I'm really sorry. When I go pay daily. No, Sako never ever give one account for things we don't do on money. When I work talk about Sako, work work for Sako, work at propagating the voice for Sako. When I don't worry, now when I end this, Iya Marianta is the president of Amazonia. It's only a matter of time. You people will cease to exist. But when I will know what you in exile or Shoboya, because none of them is step for Amazonia. We don't be stupid for them, eh? Now we be stupid people for them. Now you fool ourselves. Thank you, Secretary Chris.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Absolutely. They are just marking time. It's a matter of when they totally give up, surrender, and that day is definitely coming. That day is definitely coming. Thank you for the call, sir. Let me see who else is on the line. All right. This is. There, I got this caller before. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and make your call. Make your call. Let's see what you are thinking out there. Okay. Hello. Hello.
Secretary, good evening. Yeah, Secretary.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from again?
From Mezam County.
Okay, go on, sir.
Thank you for your patience. I can celebrate you for your patience as you wait for people to answer, to ask you questions, and you take a lot of patience to answer them.
Thank you.
Yes, I want to also say something concerning the SACO.
Okay.
Number one, I want to say that bringing their audios on our TV station is legitimizing them, because we have not been hearing of those audio on the ground.
Oh, you don't hear them? You don't hear the audios on the ground?
No, we have not heard of it on the ground.
The one that I just played here and Sarko's on?
Yes, we have not heard it on the ground.
Okay. All right.
Yes, we have not heard of it on the ground. That's his point number one. So we don't need to be hearing all those things, because it is irritating. We already know who is our president. We know who is our communication secretary. We know where information comes. So don't bother. We don't have any problem with the SACO. What we are struggling and praying that it should happen is that ABC should be taken off their hands. Okay. That is where our problem will be solved. Number 3 point. I want you to let your panel who are on the set to advise our guys on the ground. La Republic bringing this bike. Number one, let me first of all say that the bike as they bring, it is a sign of defeat. They know that they have lost it all. Let me tell you that they have resolved. They are no more using armored car again, because their armored car are all finished. They even want their soldiers to be moving on foot. They discovered that moving on foot is also dangerous. They now want to use the option of helicopter. But see, they are also limited with all of those things. They now bring in bikes, so that those bikes can facilitate their movement in the name of vigilante. Those bikes will be used by military in disguise as Okada riders, not vigilante. We don't have people here on the ground who will be willing to take those bikes. It will be used by military. And so anybody that is seen with those bikes, let the fighters know that they are potential military and francophones.
Correct. All right.
That should be shot and killed.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the call. So you have a great night.
You're welcome.
Okay, I take one last caller and we'll call it good night. I take one last caller, and we'll call it a night. Go ahead and call. The luckiest caller will be the last caller. So I think this information that is being dished out is very, very critical, and all the restoration forces should take note. Let me get to this last caller. Hello. 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 Okay, if you call, you must take the call then. Okay, let's see. Who is calling here? Hello.
Yes, hello?
Hello.
Yes, can you get me?
I can get you. If you can be louder, it will be better. Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I call from Victoria.
Victoria. Okay, sir. And what is in your mind?
Yes, I want to just talk this one for teaching.
Okay.
So that everybody will fit understand.
Okay.
One time I watched your show where you bring Tibo Nagi on board. And Tibo Nagi talk something where can reach up to now. When I never ever sit for think about it and for try for see how for implement them.
Okay. What was that?
Yes, Tibo Nagi talk say when America they going for place where they don't call that people them say terrorists. And they never ever call freedom fighters and say freedom fighters. They call freedom fighters and say terrorists for the onset. Now at the end of the war where they go call themselves freedom fighters. So what I did mean for talk for you and I say at this point, the earlier when I start think for put every La Republic citizen out of Amazonia, the better for this revolution. Because if when I not adopt that strategy now, even when I fight for 50 years, when I go only fight, but the day when I start burn down everything like public and sending their citizens away, America will come in. All the so-called international communities, they will come on board and they will start look for way to solve this problem. Thank you, Nadetina.
Thank you, sir. That is you are very correct. You are very correct, and what we have to do is put resources into the hands of those doing the fighting, and they will do exactly what you are recommending out there. So thank you for that. I will go back to the panel, 1 minute each, and we call it a day. Comrade Sama, let me start with you, sir. Are you still there?
I'm there, Skipper Chris. I want to thank you very much for bringing me here to share my ideas with you and the people of the Southern Cameroons in Ground Zero. And I want to say that they should stay safe. I hope, Secretary Chris, you will bring me again in a special program for us to talk about the church, in particular in the Southern Cameroons. And I want to also tell Southern Cameroonians that nothing good comes easy, as Bob Marley or Bongo Sikwe sang in Nigeria. Nothing good comes easy. You must labor. You must you must remove sweat in your body. You must sacrifice something to get something. The 5 days of long calling is not 1 year. Even if it is 1 year, and we are capable of sacrificing that 1 year to get what we want, then I think that 1 year is but 1 day. So, all Southern Cameroonians, particularly in Mancon, please respect the lockdown which is coming up as from the 15th to the 20th of May 2020, and to our restoration forces ground.
From the 16th.
Okay, from the 16th to the 20th.
Yes.
And to our restoration forces on the ground, beware of any new bike. Like I've said, any new bike that will enter your area, get that person, kill him, use that bike as a booby trap to the owner of that bike.
All right.
Do not spare them, for you spare them, they will take your own head.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Uncle B.
Yes, thank you, Secretary Chris. And I think a couple of things I want to address here. The very first one will be have to do with that bikes. How are these people thinking? You would expect that if they had a strategy, they think they can. Why would they bring their bikes and show to us to the open that this is what we are going to be using? What are they thinking? So that we should develop anti to that or what? Okay, that said, another problem I would like to address here is the problem of before I came here, I saw the importance of these 5 days of this lockdown. Before I came up on here, I read a communique from the Minister of Land to Cameroon. They were spelling out how activities were going to start on the 17th. They were calling on the
Oh,
principals
is
of
that?
schools. They were calling, yeah, today I just got it today. I read it before I came on this program.
Okay, that
They were
festivities
calling
will be
on,
starting on the 17th.
that's correct.
Can
And
you
what they're saying
imagine?
that the military will be going out to carry out activities that will lead to the 20th May, and they are starting on the 17th. So I want to say here that they were calling on principals, subdues, dues, and the delegates, and all of that to take note that the youth day thing starts on the 17th from the program of the youth going out, reaching out, or stuff like that. So you see how timely, how important the 5 days is. But if we say 2 days, they would have started the program long before we get to the 2 days that we're talking about. But
Yeah,
now the 5 day night preempts exactly what they were thinking to do on the 17th.
right.
The later will be added, we can see from there. And then secondly, thirdly, the Mundi case. I want to make a point to know that what I said was that when we get a situation like that, we don't need to parade the air. The only yesterday one don't happen. We maybe will keep our green parade the air. Say, I don't know where to the one keep I forget them from A. Only yesterday one don't happen. It will give a very sounding warning to the rest of the people. But when we parade the air and keep them say, we'll do this, I would prefer that immediately they do that, strike the iron while it is hot, so that we don't have to be thinking, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I think the last part I told you, Secretary, is that when we talk about you and all abuses directed to you and everybody that has what they call coup plotters or sell out to Labrie to Cameroon, they want to silence anybody that can tell them. That's why they don't allow us go to ABC. They'll completely block us from ABC. Remember why we left SCBC? When you shouted and said that we want to go to ABC, they will let us give an application. And you say that it is normal for a government, if a government TV, they should go there at any time they want for the sake of the people. That's why we left SCBC. We created ABC, and it's exactly why we left SCBC that is happening on ABC. That you have to give an application, you have to talk before they can allow you to go on ABC. Thank God. What I would thank you more is if the ABS was not existing, I wonder what Ambassador people would have done. That's why I cry one time that I would like that if the government should get in partnership with this ABS, because without the TV, Sako would have won. But I don't know where we would have been selling our own stories. If we cannot go to ABC, what would they have done? So I want to thank you for the vision. I don't know that was going to happen before you come up with the TV, or I don't know. But the second that the TV is serving Ambazonia, that I would have been cut out of information. It's a very good achievement that only few would do achievement like this. And for the Ambazonia people, for our lockdown, we have one government. There's an economic component to the lockdown, which has to do with what we call economic sabotage to Cameroon. For these 5 days, no franc will go to Ladri to Cameroon, and it's going to keep their treasury empty. That is another component to this shutdown for 5 days. Remember, we need to say economic sabotage, do this. Good times sometimes were made so that Ladri should not have anything from our side. So this plays into that narrative too. So in a nutshell, I don't want to thank Amazona people for selecting what they know is correct and believing in people that tells them the truth. But then that person who was saying that, I want to thank my kinsman who knows me and ask him, but I want to thank you for recommending. But those who know the truth and refuse to talk the truth, it will catch up with every time. It doesn't stay long, it will catch up with them. If you speak the truth and listen to others, you always prevail. Thank you so much, Sister Chris.
Thank you, Uncle B. Thank you, Sama Thomas, for showing up to be on the show today, ladies and gentlemen. That is it. That's all we have for you for today. But before I go, I just like to inform you that as you listen from Uncle B, is praising us without knowing what we are trying to do. For ABS to be here is a miracle. I did not know what it was going to accomplish for as far as this struggle is concerned. I set out to create a television station that would, of course, serve Ambazonia, but also serve the rest of the continent. But I did not know the degree to which it would go in saving the struggle, and it is doing all that. But we are not ending there. We really want to be able to reach out to all of Africa with the news. On May 20th, call it their 20th May. We use their 20th May to raise money. So May 20th, I really want to appeal to all of you to join us here on ABS. We want to do one of a kind fundraiser that can sustain ABS for the next 6 months and bring on the kind of programming that we really want to see. So May 20th and May 21, 2 good days. That is a Friday next week and Sunday next week. We're going to be coming here and doing a special fundraiser for ABS, and I want to plead with you to join us. Some of you can put in $1,000, you can put in $500, you can put in $50. We will all appreciate your coming on board to support ABS if you really appreciate what we are trying to do here. Meanwhile, if you're on ground zero, please do not forget, as you just heard there from Uncle B, La Republic is starting festivities for 20th May on the 17th. On the 17th, as I think he said, there's a statement out already, a press release out to that effect. So those who are calling it on the 19th and telling people to believe to stay home on the 19th, you stay home on the 19th. La Republic will be celebrating on the 17th, on the 18th, and then what? So please, lockdown is starting on Monday. No mercy, no excuse. You go out and you meet your Waterloo. Do not blame anybody. You have been pre-informed. All right. Thank you all for tuning in. I look forward to coming back here on Monday with a very, very exciting guest. I come back on Monday. You don't want to miss that, with a very exciting guest. Okay. Again, once more, thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. I look forward to being back again on Monday. Good night and God bless you all.